Hello everyone, welcome back, and I'm back with a new vlog. Have you ever wondered how a foreign intelligence agency can operate deep inside one of the most heavily guarded countries in the world? Yes, I'm talking about Iran and Israel. How it can sabotage military systems, assassinate high ranking officials, and vanish almost like smoke. This is the story of Mossad's infiltration into Iran, a covert campaign that did not just involve spies in trench coats. It involved building an entire operational network inside Iranian territory, not just for surveillance, but for full blown military sabotage. Well, let's break it down. In June 2025, something extraordinary happened. Israel launched what many are calling one of the most sophisticated hybrid operations in modern intelligence history. Over the course of just 48 hours, Iran's air defense systems were blinded, missile launchers were destroyed, and key nuclear sites were hit by airstrikes. But here's the catch. This wasn't just an air operation. It began on the ground with covert sabotage from inside Iran itself. According to Wall Street Journal, Axios, The Guardian, Israel's intelligence agency Mossad had spent at least 8 months building a covert strike infrastructure inside Iran. And that's the really shocking part of it. Let that sink in. They smuggled drone parts, weapon systems, and assembled entire launch pads on Iranian soil. Wow, that is exactly what many people are calling mind blowing. So, how did they pull it off? And that's a question that we must address. Mossad didn't just fly in and out. They built a network using local agents, some of them Iranian nationals, sympathetic or financially motivated, smuggling routes that disguised weapons as household items or simple truck cargo coming into Iran, and most critically, hidden drone bases near sensitive Iranian military targets. It has been reported across media that Mossad operatives use small drones launched from rooftops, vehicles, even inside garages to neutralize air defense batteries in advance of Israel's aerial strikes. Now that's interesting. These drones didn't kill, they blinded. They jammed radar, fried electronics, and left Iran's skies wide open for Israeli jets. And there were 100 attacks, 100 jets flew towards Iran on June 13th throughout the day. The drones were activated right before the main air assault, creating a window where Iran literally couldn't see what was coming. And that is exactly what is really being studied as the new model of hybrid warfare. Now, let me add, this operation wasn't just about weakening Iran's infrastructure. It was also about eliminating key figures. According to New York Times and Le Monde, among the casualties of these strikes were Brigadier General Mohammad Reza Zahidi, a senior commander in the IRGC's Quds Force, Ali Salami, a missile system coordinator, and reports suggest even figures involved in Iran's nuclear program were targeted, much like the previous operations, such as the 2020 assassination of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh. This wasn't a one-time strike. It was part of a pattern, a decade-long campaign of covert warfare that includes car bombs, remote control guns, and cyber attacks. I mean, really, this was so well planned, and how come Iran did not know about it? That's a big question. I think Iran has to, I'm sure they are thinking about it. But let's talk about Israeli strikes a bit more. Now, before I go on, Iran's security apparatus is vast. And how was the Mossad slipping through that particular iron-guarded establishment? The Guardian, for example, has published shocking visuals. Operatives assembling strike drones and munitions inside Iran. Evidence likely leaked deliberately by Israel to show its reach. And the network was relying on deep cover operatives who had lived in Iran for years. Double agents recruited from Iran's own military or intelligence agencies. Surveillance drones flown from secret locations inside the country. And one key mistake that Iran made, underestimating Mossad's human intelligence capabilities. This wasn't just tech, it was trust, betrayal, and psychological warfare. And this is perhaps why Iran and its leadership were taken by complete surprise. Now let's talk a bit about how major outlets interpreted these events. I mean, I'm citing what's been published and which is out there. Wall Street Journal, for example, framed it as a strategic decapitation, targeting facilities and the decision makers behind them. The New York Times, surprise, surprise, emphasized the scale, calling it unprecedented infiltration, suggesting that Iran's own defenses were compromised from within. So this is kind of reaffirmation. And of course, the British newspaper, The Guardian, called it a new era of visibility for Mossad. Less shadows, more open signaling. And other European papers reflected on Iran's intelligence failures, noting that its domestic surveillance focus had blinded it to internal sabotage. And let's also not forget the chilling reality. Mossad's network has been so deep that it may have been capable of launching follow-up attacks without fresh Israeli involvement. This is key here to understand. You know, the way you set up a network and that is on an autopilot to keep on creating sabotage conditions. So let's analyze, what does it all mean? It basically means Israel has demonstrated that it can not only see inside Iran, it can operate inside Iran. It can strike from within with surgical precision and vanish. For Iran, this is of course a nightmare scenario, and for regional security, a potential powder keg, leading to a widening conflict in the region. And for us viewers trying to make sense of the 21st century geopolitics, it's a window into what war looks like today. No boots on the ground, but USB drives, suitcase drones, and neighbors who might just be spies. I'm reminded of all these TV shows, you know, the Americans, Tehran, all of them talk about such human intel networks. Now, basically, if you find this story shocking as I did, for example, let's keep the conversation going. I knew that this was happening. I used to read about it, but never believed that it could actually work like this. Now, the question really is, was this a necessary strike to stop a growing threat, the so-called nuclear threat, or reckless shadow warfare? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global stories that matter. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious, of course. Thank you.